Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me again for the live Q&A session here on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Angela. I'm a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and my channel is dedicated to those of you just getting started in this wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I share with you tips, tricks, techniques, things that I do every day in my own voiceover business, and then we get together in these weekly chats to talk about a topic or two. Usually a specific topic. But again, as always, we'll see how it goes. But if you're not new here, you know every week we have a new poll, and today's poll is, are you currently protecting your auditions from AI misuse? Now, I wanted to talk about this because this is, of course, a hot topic with all of the AI nonsense going on out there. And I'm seeing more and more auditions for AI, machine learning, those kinds of things. But recently, I'm starting to see them again they're very vague. Let's just say that. They're very vague in what the purpose or use of the voices are. So, and I want today to be more informational, so educational, so you guys know what to look out for, maybe some tools or some other things that you could use to help protect yourselves in the current state of the world that we're living in. Not to scare you or to, just take everything I say with a grain of salt, but just file it away for future use. If you're in the comments and if you have something to share, as in maybe something that you are doing with your auditions or with your contracts, with anything AI related in the voiceover realm, including audiobooks, then please share it in the chat. Because again, the whole purpose that we get together in these weekly chats is not for me just to be a talking head. This is a place for you, the viewer, to have a voice as well. And if you have something to share that you think that might help others watching, then please share it so we can all help each other in spotting these things. But back to the poll. So the poll again was, are you currently protecting your auditions from AI misuse? 4% of you said yes, always. 13% of you said sometimes. 52% of you said no, not yet. And 30% of you said, I don't know how. Fantastic. So for those 4% of you, I should say, for that 17% of you that said yes, always, or sometimes, can you share how you do that? And we're talking specifically auditions here, because if someone can clone your voice from a 30-second audition, would you know, right? These training models nowadays they don't need hours and hours of audio time to learn a voice and to clone it. They only need 30, 60 seconds anymore. So what can we do as voice actors, audiobook narrators, people on YouTube, where what we do is talk for a living, right? And keep in mind that AI itself isn't the enemy. It's lack of boundaries. It's of other people, right? It's much like everything else in our lives that could potentially be dangerous. It's not the thing itself. It's usually the person behind it, misusing it, not using it the right way for malicious reasons, kind of a thing. Okay, that was tangent. See, you guys have to stop me when I start tangenting. Anyway, so I came across, actually today and yesterday, I got two different invitations to audition for jobs on Upwork specifically. And I wanted to, and of course I've already declined them, but I found another one that was sort of similar. So I want to show you what to look for, right? So let's go over to this one here. So this is a job on Upwork. Now, I'm not saying this is specifically what this is. I'm not saying for sure this is what this is, but this is the kind of stuff that would make me really pause before I auditioned. I want to take a look at all of the elements of this audition, meaning I want to look at the verbiage of it. I want to see if there is usage for this stated. Meaning, and I'll go through it here in a second, but meaning they're specifically saying what this voiceover is going to be used for. Most of the time they'll tell us it's going to be for a YouTube channel, or it's going to be for a e-learning, it's a documentary, it's an audiobook, it's an IVR, it's something. Usually they'll tell us the purpose of this voiceover. And sometimes they don't, right? And this is what I wanted to show you. And you also want to take into account, especially on Upwork, I don't know if this is available. I think the about the client part is available to everyone on Upwork, but don't quote me on that. I have the membership to Upwork, so I see more things than people who aren't in it. But I'm pretty sure these are available. Anyway, I want to look at all of the jobs that they have posted. I want to see what kind of business it is. This one is an HR and business services is the category they put them in. Could be really anything. But I think the ones that I declined, specifically the one this morning, said something to the effect of tech and software or something like that. So that was a red flag for me. And that's not always the case, right? So take everything I say today and just kind of file it away for things to look for. It doesn't necessarily mean this is exactly what this is. I'm just trying to help you spot these things. Back to the audition itself. So it looks like they need 33 freelancers. So they're looking for a big group of people. Instead of just one or two, they're looking for 33 different freelancers to fill this role. That to me could potentially be a red flag. They're looking for native speakers, meaning whatever language that if you fit any of these in what they've stated they needed, they want you to be a native speaker because they want the accent to be clear, right? They want specific accents. And for you to sound like you're a natural native speaker in that accent, right? Potential red flag number 2. And then they've stated all of these different countries. Okay, project details, voice recording task. What kind of a task? What is it for? Yes, voice recording is a task, but what is it going to be used for? They don't say. They're looking for clear and natural speech. Again, they want someone that's a native speaker in that particular accent. Standard mobile phone recordings are acceptable. Now, I've been in this voiceover industry for about 8 years now, and I don't know many professional jobs that will allow mobile phone recording, right? Can you imagine recording an e-learning narration or an audiobook on a mobile phone? Or a commercial, or an IVR, maybe an IVR, depending on the situation and client, but you get my meaning, I think. Short scripts will be provided. Okay, what kind of scripts? Are they just words? Are they just phrases? What are they? One-time or ongoing opportunity based on performance, right? So if you are a native speaker, if you fit all the criteria that they're looking for, that's what they're referring to as performance, right? But they're making it sort of sound like pie in the sky, right? Requirements. Must be a native speaker, again, from the listed countries. Good pronunciation and clarity. Ability to follow simple recording guidelines. If you meet the criteria, please share your location, language, and availability when applying. Vague, right? It's vague. So this would definitely be something that I would be looking out for and probably skipping, right? Yeah, that would definitely be something that I would be skipping. I think there was another one in here that caught my attention. Was this the one that I declined this morning? Hold on. I think this was one, I got an invitation. I think it was this one. That I got an invitation to interview for this one. Looking for a native English speaker to find and coordinate another native English speaker to conduct 3 scripted Zoom conversations. For what? Natural conversational banter? Deliver separate dual-channel wave audio files. Each conversation will be recorded via Zoom with each speaker recorded on a separate audio channel. And the rest of, I think this is it. The rest of this detail is specific to how they want it recorded and how they want it delivered, right? 2 speakers, 1 on each channel, delivered as 2 separate files. It's pretty much the same thing. Each one's a different file for 3 different scripts. Right. To apply, please include a short voice sample, equipment details of microphone and setup, confirmation you understand dual channel full duplex recording, confirmation of ability to finish it today even. Again, vague. They fully detailed what they needed, but they don't say why or what it's for. Right? Do they need male, female? I mean, they're just looking for anybody and anybody to help them do whatever it is that they're doing here. That is why I declined it, and that was my statement as to why I declined it. It was too vague. Too vague. I have no idea what this is going to be used for, or how long, or where, or you know what I mean? So, too many red flags. So I declined it, and there was another one similar to this that I declined as well. So those are the things that I would be looking for when you're looking at auditioning. Right? And again, these are all just my preferences and my perception of things. If you want to audition for something, I mean, everybody, it's your business, right? You do what you want to do with it. But these are the things that I look for and I usually avoid, right? Because I don't like the idea of my voice being used anywhere, saying anything to anyone for any purpose. It just makes me feel kind of oogie. Am I wrong? Not only that, but that's a lot of not just money, but that's my brand that someone else is just taking and doing whatever they want with it, right? Your voice is your brand. It's kind of scary, right? All right, so how do we protect ourselves? Are any of you watermarking your auditions? Or are you including like some sort of not quite an AI writer, but some sort of an AI statement with your auditions? I'd like to know. For those of you that are protecting your auditions from AI misuse, how are you doing it? Please put those in the comments. We'll come back to those in a minute, but please share. Because the 2 things that, apart from just being very selective in what you're auditioning for, the 2 things that I hear most commonly done with auditions specifically is watermarking, which is where you could either layer in a certain tone or a sound or your voice underneath it, underneath the audition audio itself. I see the value in that. I see how that could prevent someone from cloning your voice or from like having clean audio to do whatever it is that they plan to do with it. I understand that. But if it's a legit client, they're not going to appreciate that. If I was the client and someone sent me an audition with a watermark in it, I would be a little offended, to be honest. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I tend to do that. But it's gotten me this far, overthinking. But I would be a little offended. But it's the best way to keep somebody from doing what they want to do with it, right? So what do we do? Well, if you want to do the watermarking thing, I would think that whatever you decide to layer in, and when I say layer in, I mean by using a multi-track function in your DAW, by having the audition itself in one track line, and then whatever sound, or if it's even just you saying, you know, this is whatever your name is, Angela Olfest Productions or whatever, you know, really low continuously in the background, it would have to be really low and not really be audible to the human ear. And again, I don't know if I completely like the watermarking thing because, again, it takes away from the audition itself, right? Because auditions for us, that's our first impression with a lot of new clients. And I wouldn't want anything to sway their decision against me, right? So I'm not a big fan of the watermarking thing, although I see the value in it for the AI purposes. So what else can we do? Well, what I can do, I think, with every audition is to not exactly include an AI writer because that's contract verbiage, which again might scare some clients away. But if you had something in the audition text box, and there typically is, along when you upload an audition, there's usually a text box where you can say, hey, I'm flexible, let me know if you want to change the pace or tone, or you're stating the project budget, how long it's going to take you, what kind of equipment you have, right? There's always a text box to include additional information. In that text box at the bottom, and you guys can tell me if I'm completely off base, but I think this is a good way to at least start, is to include a little bit of verbiage that says something to the effect of, actually, I had a really good one written down here. Where did I put it? Drum roll. Something to the effect of, where is it? I don't even know if I like this one because this one might even be too contracty. But you could say something to the effect of client agrees that recording shall not be used for AI training, voice cloning, synthetic reproduction, or derivative modeling without express written consent and separately negotiated compensation. Now, that in itself does sound very lawyery, it sounds like contract verbiage, again, which could either offend the client or just kind of go, oh, what has this guy been into, right? Because from the client side, they're not really as affected. Sorry for all the noise. They're not always affected so much from the AI, voice misuse as we are. So they may or may not understand where we're coming from when we apply that kind of verbiage in auditions. It might scare them, but ultimately it could potentially help and save us from that sort of a thing, right? There was other verbiage, audition verbiage that I had written down here too, and I scrolled past it looking for that. Where did my notes go? Other things that you want to look for in audition verbiage, if there is any. Phrases used in audition verbiage, like the job detail verbiage. Something like perpetual rights in all formats known or unknown. Leaves it kind of open-ended to, here, we could do anything we want with your voice and you're agreeing to that. Usage includes synthetic or derivative works. I've seen that a couple times. Rights to reproduce voice in any technological format. That is something you definitely want to be looking for. Or in-house training purposes. Now, I've had some clients that have hired me to do onboarding videos for in-house training purposes. So if you do see that verbiage, you might want to get some clarification as to what they're referring to in that case. Because in-house training purposes could be we're using your voice within our company, right, for training purposes. Or it could mean that we're using your voice in-house for an AI training mod. Oh my God, I just had a brain fart. An AI training model. Or something vague about, AI training or something that would be more obvious, I think. But I think you guys get the idea. And of course, do your research. I say this a lot. Do your research. If I come across someone soliciting an audition for something, especially on Upwork, if they have the name of the company present, I'm going to Google them. Or even if someone on Fiverr reaches out and says, hey, I work for so-and-so company and I'd like to hire you for whatever job, I might go Google them. Don't click any links that they send you. If they send you a link to go check out their website, do not click links. That's just Internet Safety 101. If you don't know them, don't click the links. Look up their name on your own, open up Google on your end, and go and search for them on your own without the assistance of their links. And then do a little bit of research on them. What kind of work do they do? I've done this a couple times with clients and discovered that, again, it's tech and software, software development kinds of things. And I go, maybe not, because they might be doing something nefarious with my voice, and I don't want to do that. What's the other thing? Oh, also NDAs. And we've touched on NDAs a few times on my channel, and I think more so now than ever, if you're sent an NDA because they don't want you to disclose anything about the project that you're doing before it's actually released to the public, understandable. This happens in our industry with NDAs. But my God, read through it. Read through the NDA and make sure there's nothing included in it that has any of the verbiage that we've mentioned today. Nothing about AI or derivative works or training, AI voice cloning, or like I said before, perpetual rights in all formats known or unknown, or anything about synthetic, you know what I mean? Read through it. Make sure that you're not inadvertently signing your voice away to this company to make $100, right? So as a business owner, which you are as a voice actor or an audiobook narrator, you have to protect yourself, your personal IP, and your business by doing a little extra diligence and doing a little bit of research. You just have to. I'm just looking for any questions. Hey, everybody on Instagram. I don't see any questions over there. Okay, so if you wanted to have an AI writer, let's touch on this and then we'll get over to the comments. If you wanted to have an AI writer attached to your contract, there is, as we've mentioned before, there is a great one on Nava. And Nava is navavoices.org. That's NAVA voices.org. And this is the National Association of Voice Actors. If you go up to AI resources on their homepage, there's an AI writer. There's a lot of AI info there, AI questions to ask. I'm not sure what Fair Voices is. Let's take a look at that. That's a new one. Oh, it's a pledge, control compensation. I like it. Okay, I'm going to come back and read that later. Okay, so go into the AI writer. So they have it in Spanish now too. Good. Okay, so they have a Word doc, a PDF, and then instructions. Let's just go to the... Can you guys still... Oh, no, you probably can't see it. Oh, here we go. See, can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, cool. All right, so this is an artificial intelligence writer. And what you could do is just sort of attach this, make this part of your contract, and have the client sign it, right? And of course, you want to fill in. Can you make this editable? I think if you have Adobe Acrobat, which I recommend that you do as a business owner, that way you can sign documents, you can password lock them, you can do all of those things, sign contracts, and if you download this in Adobe Acrobat, you'll be able to edit this. You might be able to without it, but Adobe Acrobat's really handy to have as a business owner. Anyway, you want to fill in the blanks as the your name as the talent, and then the business owner, the client's name as the client, and then have everybody sign it, and then keep a copy for yourself in this client's folder along with your signed contract. And you can also include this in audiobook contracts as well. Now, we've mentioned a few times about where to find audiobook contracts in ACX. In their legal page, there's a place where you can download editable contracts. So you can add your name, the author's name. You can even attach this to the contract and have them sign it as well, because it's never a bad thing to be safe, right? there's no shame in wanting to protect yourself by having the client sign one additional document, right? Just to be safe, just for that peace of mind. There was something else I was going to say about AI writers, but that's a good one to have. I mean, it's right there. It's easily accessible. You don't need to have an account with Nava to log in or any of that. I mean, it's right there. So definitely use that to your advantage. We got a lot of comments. I'm going to go over to the comments and see what you guys are saying. I think Sean was here. Sean was here early. Good morning from Nashville. Good morning to you. Ken is here. Hey, Ken. Saw that post on a VOJ. Definitely something to think of. Cloning voice is getting easier. Just wonder if a writer would make any real difference. You know, ultimately, probably not. If someone was really intending on doing whatever it is they're setting out to do with a voice actor's voice, no. I mean, are you ultimately going to be able to catch them all the time? Probably not. But at least you have something to stand on if you do, in fact, come across something that has your voice in it that, you know what I mean? There's no real ironclad. I mean, anytime you're on the internet, right, you're kind of just doing everything on the internet with a hope and a prayer that it's not going to blow up in your face. It's just the age we live in now, right? But I mean, that's a really good point. I got my donuts showing up here. Kat, good morning, Kat. Rebecca. Happy time zone, everyone. I think that's next weekend, isn't it? That's Sunday, this coming Sunday when we switch times. Yes? Or am I behind? I'm definitely here to get all the tips and tricks I can to find to protect my voice. And if you have something that you're doing or something that you heard someone else was doing to hopefully potentially thwart the ne'er-do-wells of the AI world, what is it that you're doing or what is it that you heard? Share with the group so we can all ponder it and perhaps put it into use. Chastity's here. Good afternoon, Chastity. Colleen is here. Hello, Colleen. I'm ready for spring. Yes, I think we all are. Shauna's here. Hey, hello. Feels like spring today. It does. It's really, really nice. I'll take it. It's nice outside. Zenaida? I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Is this with a writer or a different method to protect? It could be. I mean, we have contract writers. We have watermarking. If there's, again, something else that you guys are doing or have discovered, then please share. But those are the two that immediately come to mind. But there's going to be, caveats with both. There's going to be pros and cons with either. But at least you're doing something, right? You're doing something. Kevin Lawrence on Instagram says, do you have any private coaching? Yes, I do. If you go to my website, which is at the bottom left corner of the screen there, I do have one-on-ones. We have groups. I have mentorship packages. I do have private coaching. And then I'm also a coach for a whole academy, for a whole voiceover academy. So we got some options. Voxforge says, hello from Texas. Hello to you. Janelle is here. Hey, Janelle. Morning, Angela. Hey, everyone. I include AI protection language or a separate clause in my contracts or agreements. Not sure about auditions, so thank you for covering this. Yeah, with the onslaught of these auditions hitting my inbox over the course of the last week, because for those of you on Upwork, and I've seen a handful of you in our VO's Journey Academy Discord, talking about the Upwork invitations to audition that clearly state what they're using the voices for, right? This is for AI training. But recently, I'm starting to see them again where they're just very vague. They're not telling you what it's for. They're just giving you detail of how they want it done, but nothing in terms of what it's for. And so therefore, I wanted you guys just to be aware of those. Ken says, tangents lead to interesting things, though. Don't encourage the tangents. Don't encourage the tangents. Eric said, hello. Oh, hi, Angela and all. What a great topic. I'm very interested in learning what I need to do to protect myself from AI. By the way, we love your tangents. Don't encourage the tangents. Mary Lynn says, hello, Mary Lynn. How you doing? Hello from sunny Tampa. I love this topic. AI can help so much with business, but it can also be used nefariously. It can. And again, AI, as a business owner, including us voice actors and audiobook narrators, AI can be a super helpful tool. Remember, it's not the tool, it's the people using the tool and what they do with it is what matters. So there are going to be people who use AI to grow their businesses, to streamline their processes, and do all the things that business owners need to do. Like you could build an AI agent to do a lot of the back end stuff that maybe you just don't have time in the day for. AI can be a super helpful tool. But if you're using it in a way that hurts other people or, destroys their business, I mean, that's not a good thing. See, again, tangent. Here we go. Dylan says, Upwork is notorious for the AI voice training models. As a top-rated talent on Upwork, I get a ton of those invitations daily. Was that just an excuse to brag that I just made top-rated? Yes, it was. Congratulations, Dylan. Congratulations. Yeah, I get a lot of those too, and I'm sure. I mean, not to diminish you at all, Dylan, but I think they are shotgunning those out just to see if anybody's going to bite. And with the number of them that I see, I have to imagine not a whole lot of people are taking the bait. I think with all of us having these conversations and hopefully joining peer groups and learning from each other, we're starting to spot these easier than we did in the very beginning, when it was just the dawn of AI, ne'er-do-wells. But I think we're becoming more educated in what to look for and making the decision to decline or to click away. So I have to imagine that not a whole lot of people are taking them up on it. Hence now changing it to be very vague. That's my interpretation. I could be wrong. Vox Forge says, yeah, I have seen a lot of these vague and off jobs coming through on Upwork. Seems like it comes in waves, maybe more like a flood. I think it's pretty consistent. Like I get one of these AI training jobs, maybe one every couple of days for months now. But it's just recently that they're now switching back to being very vague, which is how they were in the beginning. And then we would have to ask, hey, what is this being used for? And then there were a little bit of regulations put in place, with, AI growing and becoming its own thing. And then they were stating, okay, yeah, this is for AI training purposes. And then now they're back to being vague. So that's why it's important for us to have these conversations again, to make sure that we know what we're looking for. Right? And to help some of the newer folks coming into this industry and maybe are very excited about getting their first voiceover job and either don't understand the red flag when they're looking at it, or, a lot of times they will also, clients, the people that are looking to AI clone your voice or to scam you in some way, shape, or form, are making it sound way too good to be true. And just like anything else, if it sounds too good to be true, it more than likely is. Right? I saw a job, I think it was last year, that was clearly for AI training, but they were offering like the budget, I think this was on Voice 123, if I'm not mistaken. So it wasn't like Fiverr or Upwork. But the budget on the thing was like 16 grand or something like that and I was like, of course it caught my attention. So I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is clearly AI training. Right? So if it sounds way too good to be true, it more than likely is. Rustic Hillbilly is here. Good morning from Oregon. Looks like spring here too. That's wonderful. So the snow is melting across the U.S. finally. Amy Ruthie says, hello, VO fam. Great topic today. Thanks so much. Glad to help. Tib Production says this topic has my listening. I like the little emoji on there. Can you? Oh, you can. You can see it on the screen. That's cool. I use a writer, but who knows if people respect that too. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. But all we can do is what we can do, right? Unfortunately, we cannot control everything. We have no control over what other people do. So we can only do and control what we can control. So all we can do is do our best and hope for the best, right? And educate ourselves in what to do and what not to do. That's about it. And then Caesar. Hey, Caesar. Oh, hi, Angela. Playing devil's advocate for the sake of discussion. Some voice actors actually embrace or capitulate to the AI revolution because of the generous payouts from AI companies. Yeah, and I know that they do. But everybody's business is different. And most of what I've said today is I'm talking to those people who don't want anything to do with AI modeling or to sell their voice, basically, to sell their IP to other companies. These are the people that I'm talking to today. But ultimately, it's your business. You know, if you want to, you know, train an AI model with your voice and make a lot of money doing it, you know, if that's the way you want to run your business, then do it. You know. But yeah, you're right, Caesar. Adekoya Gabriel says the same thing is now happening on ACX, whereby people will do auditions and the person gets to download the auditions from narrators and just remove the book from ACX later. It's happening in waves. It's, again, I mean, anytime that you're on the internet for anything, there's going to be people that are trying to take advantage in some way, shape, or form. They just are. And that is one of the chances that we take as business owners. And it's unfortunate, double unfortunate, that the best way to market ourselves is social media, right? So, I mean, ultimately, whatever's going to happen in the future is going to happen. We can't stop it. We can't control it. But all we can do, again, is to educate ourselves and know what we're looking at and how to handle it the best way that we can. Hey, Donnie, I write a disclaimer stating they do not have the right to use my voice for AI. Might be why I didn't get any jobs. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that how you want to have something like that somewhere on your profile at the very least. Maybe in an FAQ like I do on Fiverr, like I've showed you guys in Launchpad. One of my FAQs on all of my Fiverr gigs is I do not want my voice used for text-to-speech or AI modeling, cloning, anything like that. Including it in an audition text, I don't think that we shouldn't have it there, but it needs to be it needs to be laid out in a way that is not like contract verbiage, where it's not scary, you know, where it could turn off a client. What did I say earlier? I mean, even that, client agrees the voice recording provided under this agreement should not be used for AI training. Even that, I think, is a little bit too much contract verbiage. I think, did I have an alternate? Hold on. Because I really thought about this morning. I mean, how could you include this verbiage without it coming off sounding like you're expecting them to? Or, another thing I came across as far as an idea for, actually no, because I don't think that would work. But another thing that came across when I was searching for alternative ways to protect your audio file, one of the things that I read was that it was that you should slate at the beginning, but you could cut that off, you know. I thought I had an alternate. How about something like this audition is for evaluation purposes only, or casting purposes only, or Um, any usage, reproduction, or synthetic AI modeling requires written authorization. I mean, really, any which way that you include it might come off the wrong way to the client. So then what do? We have to ask the client lots of questions, right? Lots of clarifying questions, which you should do anyway if the audition is a little bit vague or what they're asking you for. Let's just say it's somebody in Fiverr and you can have a dialogue before you send them an offer to start an order. I would ask lots of clarifying questions, and if their answers are aligning to what sounds legit, then I will continue, I will ask kind of prodding questions like, depending on the conversation, you could ask something about this. Like if they say it's in-house training, like we talked about before, is this for AI modeling or is this for like an onboarding project? I mean, clarify, get some clarification as to what they're talking about, alleviate some of the worries about what does this mean? Ask the client questions. It's okay to ask clients questions. I think they appreciate it because you're trying to understand what it is that they need so you can give them a professional finished product for exactly what they need or what they're asking for. So I don't think it's a bad thing to ask questions. You really should be. Allow yourself to. Tibbs says, can we state that we use a watermark to protect from AI, but that also seems to give idea too? It does, but if the client is reaching out to you for something legit, I don't think they're going to just go, oh yeah, maybe I should steal their voice. I don't think they're going to change their mind and switch directions and, go, hey, you just gave me a brilliant idea. I mean, it's good to be sort of cautious about what you say and what you don't say. But I would definitely tell them. I would say, hey, this is the first time we're talking, and in today's day and age, I can't be too careful. And so I have watermarked my audition. Please don't take it personally. Thank you for your understanding. I mean, if you explain why you did it, I think most people would understand that. Right? Or nowadays, if people are asking for custom samples and I'm not too sure about who they are or what they're going to use it for, I will direct them to my profile where I have samples and auditions or samples of work that I've done to listen to my voice. And I know that listening to their words and your voice to see if it fits the project is the best way to get that done. But then again, in today's day and age, I don't do that for every client, but just the ones where my spidey senses are kind of tingling, right? Something feels a little off. I'll just direct them to my profile to listen to samples. I think it's just a case by case, Caesar says, I personally wouldn't do it. And LLM contracts for smaller independent talents tend to be viciously exploitative. Actors under SAG-AFTRA who lend their voices to AI required tailored compensation. Do what? AI? Or include a writer or a watermark. Caesar said again, that said, hello everyone. I'm not very good cook, but today I made a bowl of meat. Can't go wrong with a bowl of meat, Caesar. Shanna says, on the watermark topic, I took a VO class years ago through community education. This was around 2004. And the instructor was avoided clients just using his audition by flushing a toilet midway through. That's funny. That was clever. Yeah. Donnie says, oh, and sorry about my name. I know my other account. It's okay. I know who you are. You're good. Rebecca said, maybe a simple submission of this audition is not granting permission for this audio to be used with any AI usage training, etc. Yeah. I mean, if it's something that's non-threatening, it's not too contracty or legalese kind of verbiage, it might not be as off-putting to a client. Tib Production says it would be great if ACX was just able to have a button that adds that and protects from downloads to edit the audio, so they should only use it on the website. This would respect... do you have a continuation? I don't see the continuation for that. VoxForge says, should we call these people stealing voices voice miners? I think we should. I think it's a good one, because they are building a repository and likely selling it out to make money. Isn't that sad? It's sad. I think that's a good name for him. Josh says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Josh. Donnie says, I can vouch for the do not click on any links. I wrecked our Discord and had to create an entirely new account. I remember that after washing my computer and my eyes. I remember that, Donnie. To Rebecca, that is how I do it. I can let you know my actual verbiage later if you want. Caesar says, I just had a thought. How about having an obnoxious kazoo play every 5 seconds in your audition? That should prevent it from being used to train an LLM. Yeah. I mean, if you think about, if you've ever listened to, what is that, Pond 5, Audio Jungle, if you've ever listened to like royalty-free music on some of these sites, they do that. They watermark the soundtrack, the music track, for that same purpose. So you can't just take it and do whatever you want with it without paying for it. There really isn't a difference than just having like a chime or, maybe something that plays. I don't know. I'm still not a huge fan of watermarking, but again, I see the value in it. I don't know. I'm torn on that one. Colleen says, I've been working on this platform called Aligner AI. They have many folks from Upwork, basically just reading emotive cues. Interesting. So are you contributing to AI, Colleen? Shanna says, can an AI writer be used on Fiverr? If you want to include it in your order delivery verbiage, that's where I would put it. That's where I would put it. You could even make it like one of your standard requirements to place an order. You could have how you can add custom questions to the requirements that the client has to answer before they can even place the order. You can make one of those requirements a confirmation that the client will not use this for this purpose, or, you know what I mean? Circle, indicate yes or no, and make it like a mandatory question that they have to answer. Multiple choice, yes or no. Right? Vox says, I'm not sure if there's a precedent set legally for suing someone for AI cloning of a voice without permission, is there? Apart from, was it Bev standing and using her voice for TikTok? Was it Bev? I want to say it was Bev. That was the only major one that I know of, but that was a thing. But I think she had done some text-to-speech like a million years ago, and that company that she did that for was bought out by another company that then in turn allowed TikTok to use it. So it was kind of like it exchanged hands a few times. And then she became the first AI voice of TikTok, and then she sued and all of that stuff. That's the only one that I know of, but it's kind of a big deal. Rebecca says, the time changes this weekend. I never know if I should say good morning or good afternoon, so it's happy time zone. Oh, I got you. Well, I mean, if it's morning where you are, say good morning. It's okay. You don't have to be my time appropriate. Colleen says 34 here, 12 likes. We can do better than that. I appreciate you, Colleen. Yeah, we got 43 people watching now. How many likes do we have? Oh, I haven't refreshed my screen. It says 2. How many likes do we have now? And I appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Rebecca says to Donnie, yeah, DM me when you can. Whoops. S. Nessim says the wake words job postings are a plague. Josh says, I use it all the time, but not for evil intent. Uh-huh. Joy says, hello, everyone, from still freezing up here in Michigan, but spring is coming. I haven't taken on any AI work, so no worries there, but I will most definitely protect myself. Good. Ken says the most likely tangents, or targets rather, of those ad are the new people just starting. Yeah, they are skimming the new and inexperienced. Only good thing about that would be the quality they are getting is less. And I'm glad you brought that up because even though Dylan is top rated on Upwork, I remember in the beginning years of me being on these platforms. So I was, I just joined last month, right? And I was a brand new seller on Fiverr. I had, I didn't gain any rank yet anywhere. Tons of scams because they're preying on what they perceive you don't know. They're preying on your ignorance in the industry. They're hoping to flash something shiny at you and you go, "Ooh, yeah, first job, I want that." And then, right, they're just trying to take advantage of what they think you don't know. So again, it's why we have these conversations, because I know most of my audience is voice actors, audiobook narrators on the newer side of this journey. So that's why we have these conversations with myself and other experienced voice actors, narrators that come into the chat, because I wanted to share these things so you guys don't get duped. Donnie says, if anyone else wants to see my disclaimer, hit me up on Discord or DM me on here. Caesar said, I would love for you to show me your disclaimer, Donnie. Stop it, Caesar. Who's got the spray? Call me. You got me all pretty first. Okay. All right, you two. Vox Forge says, wait, y'all have a Discord. Yes, we have. We are all members of VO's Journey Academy. I am a coach for a VO's Journey Academy. And we have our own Discord for the Academy. If you would like to join our voiceover audiobook Academy, the link is in the description of this video. Thank you, Dylan. No, Caesar. Who's got the spray? Review Exchange Group says the biggest danger of AI to audiobook narrators is not AI getting better, but the public becoming used to non-human narration. Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. I end every audition with this audition 100% human narration guaranteed. I love that because I am hearing, I mean, it's still not super often, but every once in a while I'll have a client say that you sound like AI, and I have to tell them it's because AI is trained by voice actors. So it's going to sound professional and polished. But you're right, because we're hearing more and more AI voices and clients go like, hey, this sounds like AI. Well, yeah, because who's training AI? Voice actors. Of course it's going to sound kind of similar. Kind of scary. But that's a good point. If you end every audition with, I am 100% human, and leave in a smack or something, you know what I mean? Or a nose fart, or a yawn or something. I mean, I don't know, something human. Zaneta says, at least if you have a writer in place, you could take legal action if you catch someone doing something dirty with your recording. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Do I do it? Do I not do it? But if I do it and I end up finding out that they did something nefarious, then I have something to fall back on. Or not, if you didn't. Have them sign a contract, Caesar says to Vox Forged, we do have a Discord. It's quite fun. I think there's a hot tub. There is a hot tub on the roof. Tib says, my friend who hires has opened my ears to the fact that in narration, branding is heavier. For example, they want you to pick a book type genre, especially with narration that is nonfiction. Vox Forge says, well, now I'm interested. The link is in the description of the video for a VO's Journey Academy. Donnie says, yeah, VO's Journey Academy, and join the basic subscription, and you will have access to Discord and a huge library of assistance. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. You are not wrong. And the basic subscription, which is called Launchpad, is where you can join our meetings every Thursday night, hosted by me and lots of other people in the chat. So I think there's usually around 25 to 45 voice actors that join every Thursday, and we gamify everything that we talk about. We go through websites, Fiverr, Upwork. We practice full cast audiobook narrations. We do all kinds of stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Tib says, my point is, this is a reason not to sell AI. Sell to AI. Well, that too. Let me see. Tib says, I would love to understand watermarks and VO more clearly. Any resources you use? If you're looking for like a sound to include in your watermark, you could probably go to YouTube and look up any kind of sound effect, download it or record it, and then just kind of, again, in multi-track, you can have your audition in one track line and then the sound effect in the other one, and just have it play like every 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or whatever interval you choose. Or you could record yourself saying your business name or your name and just have it kind of like ghosty, and then have it play throughout the bottom, so it's always audible. I mean, either way you could do it. I think either way it's kind of annoying, but again, extreme measures. That's what immediately comes to mind. Or, as someone said earlier, have the toilet flush midway through, or a kazoo, or whatever you choose. Have a dog bark. Well, if you do that, then it just makes it sound like, it gives the impression that's what you're going to deliver to the client. So I don't know. But I think if you do include a watermark, I would explain to the client that that's just why you have a watermark in it, is to protect yourself, not to, be weird or unprofessional sounding. Whoops. Dylan says, Caesar, the hot tub is down for cleaning. Donnie's beard hair clogged the filter. Let's see. Question. Review Exchange Group says, my point is that in auditions, we should make our human narration abilities a big deal, a huge deal, which implies that I'm only looking for reputable work from the most talented of authors. I like it. Donnie says, here's a question. Can the copy your voice from your website? Technically, yeah. As long as your voice is downloadable, and probably even doesn't even need to be downloadable. Any place you have your voice available to people, pretty much. S. Nassim says, we had a member at VOJ who had his voice cloned by a previous customer who just decided to clone his voice instead of hiring him again to maintain. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think I remember seeing something about that in Discord. I need to go back and find it. The nerve. And the client probably thought he wasn't doing anything wrong. The beard was glorious. Maybe it could be funny like the video recording messages on VHS. Let's see. Questions. Maybe the voice minors makes him feel more guilty. Yep. Probably not, but let's go with it. Let's call them voice minors. Rebecca says, I think Caesar's I personally wouldn't do it was referring to the watermark. Okay. Which I agree with. It's hard enough getting a job without messing with your audio on top. I know. I'm not a fan of watermarking either, but ultimately, I think that might be the most effective way to prevent this from happening. But it could have so much negative. The client could think you're unprofessional. They could be offended that you think they're trying to steal your voice. There could be so many negative outcomes from using a watermark. I'm not a fan of it either, but yeah. Let's see. Questions. Oh, here's Colleen answering my question. Yes, I've been going crazy trying to make a few bucks. I found a liner and data annotation. DA is mostly prompting. So you're recording for AI. Does it pay well? I would assume you wouldn't do it unless it paid well. Tib says, as my kids say, we are cooked. Joking. Hopefully, I don't have a solid plan B, and I'm 43. I'm older than you. But you know what? It's never too late to redo anything, to start over. I mean, even if we had to start over tomorrow, we're never too old to start over. I don't think. Love the video. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Let's see. VoxForge says, I believe it may take us all getting together to reach out to these platforms to require sellers, buyers to hit a checkbox on AI, no AI, and we can upload to the platform with our own watermark. That's a great idea. I think we need to start bombarding these platforms with that kind of a waiver option. It's not a bad idea. Donnie says, click like, or I will move in with you and clog all your drains and leave all the condiments on the counter. See, there you go. See, like the video, or Donnie's just going to come snuggle up with you. Caesar says, I shall use my voice to train AI. Sit, stay, roll over, play dead. Good AI. Who's a good AI? Here you go. Have a stick of DDR5 RAM. That's funny. Don't give AI the good RAM. No, Caesar. That's a preemptive no, Caesar. I was a good boy too, Caesar. Can I have some RAM too? These are hilarious. Tib says, yeah, so why is my nose so itchy? Yes, so my friend hires for her books, and she is always looking for the value. Meanwhile, on a side laugh, she is talking to me her bestie, but hearing her perspective and needing to see the value versus money. Or what about what about this? We can have an audition exchange website where people upload their auditions to be listened to by a client. They can't download and is automatically watermarked. How's that? I like it, but then it's just like a big marketplace for people to come and... But I guess if everything's watermarked... I mean, Fiverr could very easily do something like this. Because when you deliver a video through Fiverr, they've put their watermark all over the image, but not the audio. So they could easily, maybe not easily, what do I know about the back end of things, but they could take the time to enable a feature like that for everyone who works in audio, right? To kind of watermark it until it's paid for. And even then, the client would still have to tick a box that says, hey, I agree, I will not use this for any other purposes than what we've agreed to and discussed, right? I mean, what's the harm in doing that? There isn't. I mean, it just benefits us and their, the hundreds of thousands of sellers on their site that do what we do. Yeah, and the guy tied in the basement, yep. Let's see. Rebecca says, I recommend we make a channel on the Discord called the Rooftop Hot Tub. I don't know. I mean, maybe not so much in a VOJ. I mean, Anthony runs his ship a little tighter than I did. Dylan said, oh yeah, I'm back. My schedule changed, so now I can make the meetings. Nice. Tib says, but can't they just easily cut and heal the watermark out? They could, but if it's in the middle of something that you were saying, it's going to make the word sound weird, right? So it would have to be at a frequent enough interval, whatever noise that you're using, or if you do the overlay where you're talking the whole way through, like under it, that would be hard to cut out. Maybe even impossible. I'm sure Caesar's going to say, well, I could do it. I could cut it out. I got it. Not that Caesar sounds that way at all. It's just... That was just my funny voice. I'm sorry, Caesar. It wasn't personal. Let's see. Rebecca says to Tib... Not without damaging the audio to the point where it'd be unusable. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Let's see. VOJ rocks. Yes, it do. Draco Wheels says, cool name. I just discovered your channel. Thank you so much for the videos. Thank you for watching them. And thanks for stopping by in our live today. Let's see. We would love to have you in Launchpad, Vox. I'm already happy with what you're contributing today in the live. I think you'd be a great asset in our community. Let's see, looking for questions because it's been an hour already. That was fast. Rebecca says, well, now I want to take a poll with my indie author friends and see what... do it. Absolutely do it and let us know what they say. I feel like Voice123 yeah, I mean, all the platforms could probably do that. Include like a watermark until it's paid for. I mean, technically they all could. Any watermarked digital voice can always be captured analog and then converted into digital. No more watermark. Well, let's see. Just got into the Discord. Awesome. That was fast. Vox Forged. I don't mess around. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Again, not that he sounds that way or they sound that way. No idea. That's just my funny voice. But anyway, it looks like that's pretty much it for questions. So Chastity, thank you so much for coming. As always, I always enjoy having you around, Chastity. But thank you guys for joining me today and for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you have anything to add, if you're watching this in Team Replay, please leave your comments. Please share with everyone else watching. If there's something that you do with your auditions that potentially could prevent any kind of nefarious use of our voices, please share that with everybody watching. That would be fantastic. Sorry, I had to show this one. I actually sound pretty close to that, to be honest. We shall see. So if you joined Launchpad, then I expect to see you Thursday. And I'm looking at you. But anyway, I'm not going on another tangent. So for those of you in Launchpad, I'll see you guys on Thursday, and otherwise I'll see everybody else next Tuesday. So be safe out there. Bye, everyone.